Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. Over several years, it is not uncommon for an aircraft to be decommissioned due to the heavy toll taken during the frequent missions at high altitudes. Many military aircraft have an average lifespan of about 30 years. Still, with meticulous maintenance and constant upgrading, some of them remain in active service many decades beyond that time. The Boeing-built B-52 Stratofortress, for instance, has been a permanent member of the U.S. Air Force fleet since its maiden flight in April 1952. Not just any aircraft, the B-52 is a long-range heavy bomber that can fly at altitudes up to 50,000 feet. For over 70 years, the B-52 Stratofortress has been the backbone of the United States Strategic Bomber Force.
Keep it at 0.5 or above, that way if we need to.
This is a B-52H model. It is here from Minot Air Force Base. It is here to kind of show the students exactly what they might go on to fly, or if they drop something else out of here, what they have to integrate with at Red Flag or actually in an actual wartime scenario.
Weighing about 185,000 pounds, the Stratofortress B model was first deployed in February of 1955, after the A model flew the previous year. By October of 1962, a total of 744 B-52s were built and delivered, with the newest model being named the B-52H. The B-52 can carry up to 70,000 pounds of ammunition. Often this includes bombs, mines, and missiles. Modifications allowed the aircraft to carry air-launched cruise missiles, Harpoon anti-ship missiles, and HAVNAP missiles. Despite the sheer number of weapons on board, the crew consists of only 5 people. Based in Minot, North Dakota, the B-52 maintenance hangar has the capacity to house 2 B-52 Stratofortress aircraft at a time.
Right. Cable test, south test, good.
Since 1989, modifications to the B-52's global positioning system have been ongoing, including heavy store adapter beams and advanced weaponry. The aircraft requires an entire team to perform inspections and routine repairs, which is essential when maintaining the aircraft's lifespan. Every month, one B-52 is taken apart in the phase hangar, inspected, and put back together again.
We are repairing systems that are key to this aircraft being able to fly. We are doing in-depth maintenance. You can see over my shoulder they're working on panels. We're lubing key components. We're replacing key components. We're doing inspections on key areas, high-stress areas of the aircraft.
This typically takes 14 days to complete. Once finished, the Stratofortress is good to go. The Air Force plans to operate the B-52 through 2050, as they have been outfitted with up-to-date technology and are rigorously maintained. By that time, the iconic bomber will have clocked an entire century of service. Just like the B-52, the B-1 Lancer must also undergo frequent maintenance. The aircraft was initially designed to fly 8,000 hours or 30 years. But the aircraft is now 37 years old, which has led engineers needing to perform frequent structural fatigue tests on the aircraft.
We're in charge of doing inspections and pre-flights, post-flights. Day starts off seeing what's going on with your aircraft, if it's coming down, taking off, what kind of maintenance you have to do.
Until Air Force officials can replace the B-1 Lancer with the B-21, crews must keep them flying safely using current resources: money, spare parts, and maintainers. The B-21s are expected to be delivered by 2031, allowing the rest of the B-1 fleet to retire. Serving in the United States Air Force since 1985, the current model, the B-1B Lancer, is a long-range bomber geared towards multiple missions. Since 2001, its manufacturer, Boeing, has said that the aircraft has been continuously deployed in combat operations over Afghanistan and Iraq. Now, it frequently goes through maintenance checks in the Hush House, a facility allowing aerospace propulsion specialists to test the aircraft's performance before reattaching the engine safely. These Hush Houses are named for the structure's design, which references the noise suppressants used to reduce the sounds heard outside the building. The work of these suppressants are similar to how water suppresses sound for maritime vessels. In January of 2017, the USS New Orleans, or LPD-18, was moved into the dry dock ship selected availability at the BAE Systems shipyard. The LPD-18 houses 4 Colt-Pielstick diesel engines at 40,000 horsepower, which engineers maintain in the engine room. Along with the 4 high-powered engines, the ship includes 2 shafts used for propulsion. These help the ship to travel at a speed of 22 knots. The New Orleans is large enough to hold as many as 361 crew members, including 28 officers and 33 enlisted members, along with 720 troops. This doesn't include the boats or landing craft that may carry 2 LCACs or 1 landing craft utility. Also known as the SSN 775, the USS Texas is a Virginia-class attack submarine assigned as part of Submarine Squadron 2 in the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard. It's part of a class of nuclear-powered fast attack submarines with the U.S. Navy. It was christened in July 2004 by former First Lady Laura Bush and launched in April 2005. Though not as large as the LPD-18, the USS Texas submarine holds an impressive crew size of more than 130 Navy personnel. The submarine is designed for missions along the seashore and open sea. Sitting at 377 feet long, it is the 4th warship of the United States Navy to be named after the U.S. state of Texas.
As the ship's duty officer, we wear a sheriff's badge to indicate that we are on watch. We carry out maintenance and ensure smooth operations of our import tasking.
It is such meticulous maintenance and the strict training of crew members that enable many U.S. naval vessels and military aircraft to remain functional and practical enough to continue rendering service for many long decades. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.